How to find the top performing altcoins of this crypto bull market, the ones that everyone will be talking about in November and December of this year, when the crypto market reaches its top and altcoins everywhere are exploding in price. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, and we're going to come across some altcoins that have already been showing some significant strength. You see, right now, I believe we're incredibly lucky as crypto investors because we're seeing a healthy pullback, and all at a time when Blackrock, the world's largest asset manager, is buying tens of millions of dollars of Ethereum. Donald Trump and his crypto fund have been doing the same, showing that institutions are moving down the risk curve away from Bitcoin towards Ethereum. This happened back in 2021, and what happened for the altcoins was absolutely insane. Do me a favor, hit the like button, and let's go find some altcoins. Now guys, before we dive into the tutorial and find out what's going on, let's understand something for a moment so that we can identify which altcoins we really should be getting into. Many people are feeling a little bit sorry for themselves because their altcoins are down right now. And that's typically because you bought into the crypto market probably back in December 2024. Or maybe it was before that, back in March of 2024. Or maybe even back from the top of the last bull market, and you've still been holding all the way through, wondering whether your altcoins will ever see a recovery. And that's because altcoins typically see their biggest, most aggressive rally right at the end of the bull market, in a phase like this, or back in 2017, up at around this point. Okay, it doesn't necessarily come earlier on. And the reason you're down is because you're buying when everyone's sentiment is really positive, when everyone knows that the altcoins are going up. Right now, no one thinks that the altcoins are going up, which makes it a great time to buy. And if you don't think it's a great time to buy because of the economy or some other thing out there, then tell me what you know that BlackRock, the world's largest asset manager with $9 trillion of assets under management, doesn't know. Okay? Because under management, they've got 3 times the entire crypto market. BlackRock pretty much dictate where the markets go. They pretty much run the markets. The President of the United States also has a huge impact on crypto markets, as we know. We've seen it. And he's been buying Ethereum. Whether you think he's smart or not, doesn't really matter. We know he's got a lot of money, and we know that he's employed probably the best team of crypto analysts out there to be able to pick coins and things that he's getting into. And even if you don't want to believe it, just look at Ethereum right now. You can see it's putting in an ascending triangle. After recent pullbacks and things, it's actually been pretty strong. Bitcoin's pulled back harder than Ethereum, which is why the Ethereum versus Bitcoin chart is looking very healthy right now in this ascending triangle. And when that breaks, you're likely going to see Ethereum having some strong times ahead. But guess what? Your sentiment's still rock bottom because your altcoins are pulled back, and that means everybody else is also feeling sorry for themselves. But they shouldn't be, because it's times like this where you actually make money in crypto. Not when the markets are going up. You make money on days like today, where the altcoins are pulled back rather a lot. This gives us a great time to find the best entry, and it's finding good entries on good strong coins that makes us money in crypto, not by buying in when the market's already going up, because that's about to happen next. So if you missed out on buying into the lows when there was max fear in the markets back in April because you weren't subscribed to the channel with the notification bell turned on, and you've only been entering into coins recently and found that it's actually pretty problematic to enter into the hype, then you've been given a massive gift, which is a second chance at a good thing, okay? Now, because we saw this nice, healthy, strong move up here, and now we've seen this pullback, we got to identify something very interesting about altcoins during this period. We got to identify which were the strongest altcoins. Now, I want you to think about for a moment, before you shout out the answer, what really makes the top performing altcoin move? And I would imagine that many of you might get the answer wrong. And here's Crypto Bubbles to prove it. As you can see, over the last month, various different coins have done pretty well. Various different coins haven't done so well. Hype, for example, has been doing really well. It's a DEX. Ethereum, a layer 1, has been doing pretty damn well as well, surprisingly. Aave, a DeFi product, has been doing well. Pepe, WIF, SPX, all of these are meme coins. They've been doing really well. But Ethereum's a layer 1 that's been doing well, and Sonic's a layer 1 that hasn't been doing so well. That's interesting, isn't it? Render, a DePIN project that has really amazing technology apparently, and people are really pumped about, hasn't really been doing very well either. So this should tell us something, that it isn't necessarily just down to the tech. It isn't necessarily down to the partnerships, because Ondo, partner with Blackrock, is down here, and HBAR also has some incredible partnerships, also hasn't been performing that well. So what is it about? Why are these coins not performing that well when some others have been performing well? Well, it's because there's another element behind the scenes that you don't really know about as a crypto investor, okay? and understanding the intricate details behind it as well, I might not necessarily understand to the full extent either. But I know there's stuff going on behind the scenes because it's not being driven by retail. Retail hasn't suddenly flooded in and pumped up some of these coins. White, for example, pumping like crazy. I don't even know what it is. I'm a retail investor. So if it's not about tech, and it's not about teams, and it's not about marketing or whatever, what is it about? Well, behind the scenes, it's to do with elements like the tokenomics. How are the tokens really being managed behind the scenes by the treasury management teams? How are the market makers working? How is the money being injected into the system from VCs coming in? How are the teams putting their revenue back into the market? Who knows? Okay, it's difficult to know exactly how that's working, and I don't know how each of these teams are doing it, but I know they're all doing it. Okay, some of them are just better at it than others. And this is what really dictates the most successful coins beyond others, particularly when you're looking to the kind of the smaller market cap coins, okay? Or the mid cap coins. Not necessarily in the Ethereums and Solanas. That's far more to do with like on-chain data flows, etc. But if you're down below telling me that this coin's going to do the best because it's got the best tech, you're not necessarily right, okay? Because right now, I know lots of people like ICP because it's very technical and pretty interesting. It's up 15%, but with a little picture of a dog with a hat on is up 73%. What's the difference? Now, I want you to just do one thing before we go and jump into the tutorial, and that's to swallow your ego around investing into coins with high utility versus no utility. Yes, it's important to find coins with high utility. I love that as well, but you have to understand that there's something behind the scenes that you might not like, which is market manipulation, that actually you can kind of get on board with, because if you can't beat them, join them. Now, how are we going to do this? We want to understand which coins have been doing the best over this period of time here that have pulled back the most, right? Because the ones that were doing the best at the time the market suddenly flipped into greed and extreme greed will do the best during the bull market when extreme greed comes in big numbers, okay? Right now, we're being pushed back towards neutral, or even a little bit quiet, a little bit fearful. So we have nice pullbacks on the coins that perform well when greed's in the market. And those are the coins that will do the best. And in order to find them, it's free, it's easy. Go across to coinmarketcap.com and then go down to the list below. Now, what you want to do is click on columns. And what you want to do is go to price change and make sure you have 7 days and 90 days. You see, for the last kind of 14 days or so, we've had nice healthy pullbacks. Or last 7 days or so, we've had nice healthy pullbacks across some altcoins. But over the last 90 days, the market's been up, because 90 days ago, it's now in June, 90 days ago, was pretty much around the bottoms towards the end of March, okay? Yeah, it did go lower into April, but that's fine, okay? It doesn't matter too much. Now, what we're going to do is sort by the 90-day gains. Now, what we have at the top of this list is the ones that behind the scenes might be doing some shady stuff, but are actually nailing it, okay? And as you can see, we have meme coins up here. You have Virtual's Protocol, which is an AI platform, AI agents. You have a DEX, which has been performing well, and a few others. Now, what we can see as well, some of these have been pumping hard, but they've had nice healthy pullbacks. This is 4, for example, which I'm not really sure what 4 is. Probably should know, but I don't, because there's lots of stuff going on in crypto and I'm busy. And if we look at the charts, we can see that this isn't necessarily a coin we should be entering into, because it's just been kind of going up, right? Doesn't matter necessarily at this point what it does. We will add that to our system later on, okay? But right now, you can see this is at highs. If you're buying into coins like this is why you end up sad on days like this, okay? You want to buy into coins that are after these nice healthy pullbacks where everyone's like, oh, it's a crap coin, and then you can be like celebrating up here, okay? Most people do it the wrong way around. So we go down our list. And yeah, these are meme coins, doesn't really matter. I just want to show you the charts. Let's just have a look at Fartcoin, for example. You can see it's pulled back, had a very healthy pullback, and then it created our classic cup and handle pattern, okay? And it then has like broken out cleanly and is way up there. Now, if you're subscribed to the channel, you've already seen this pattern before, but it's a really, really important one because it's a really good frame of reference to identify whether or not it's a good time to buy into a coin or a bad time. This is Doge, okay? It's a meme coin, obviously. And this was back in April last year. It pumped up. It then slowly died down. It creates a nice cup. It breaks the cup. It comes back to retest the cup. And then it pumps up hard, okay? So at different points, this is like a 1, where it's slowly kind of going to the grave and everyone's like, it's a dead coin, it's never coming back alive, to suddenly it breaks up and everyone's like, oh, maybe, just maybe, but they're not really sure because, you know, there's a lot of disbelief in the markets. And then it breaks out and then it pulls back to 3 and they're like, oh, I forgot about that, I was sleeping. And then it goes to 4 and then they buy. And then the market goes down and then they blame someone else for getting them into that coin. Sorry, that was a bit of a low blow, but you get the picture. Anyway, if you go to here, you go to ARK, we can see something on Doge here does the same thing, right? It breaks, it comes back to retest. Now, when is the best time to enter? I don't think 1 is, because 1 can kind of carry on forever, although many people might think it is, but it's a little bit riskier. 2 is okay, but not as good as 3. 3 is a very strong, healthy push, because at this point, right, Doge has already pushed up from that low 106%. It's then pulled back a whopping 22%, given a perfect entry, then this run comes. Okay, so 3 is like your confirmation. It's the perfect confirmation. So as we go through this, remember this chart pattern so that you can find it on the coins we're looking at. Altcoin, for example, is now up here, which is like 3.5, making it not a good entry. Okay, come back to this. You can go through, have a look at some others. Virtual's Protocol. Okay, Virtual's Protocol is where? Nowhere near this cup. Okay, is Virtual's a good entry right now? No. Will it do well this bull market? Of course. You know it's going to do well. It's already been doing very well. It's just not pulled back enough for us to be interested. Market makers haven't let enough slack here. They're still holding the prices way too high, okay? We want to have nice, healthy pullbacks so that when they rally up again, we get to see some nice, healthy upside. Because obviously the higher it goes, the less upside you're going to get. And the more hype and excitement's already there because little Timmy and the boys are still holding this. We want to buy before them and sell when they're getting in. Now, coming back across to coinmarketcap.com, coming down the list, we're going to see lots of other coins. Now, you can go through, okay, and find coins that match up on the charts, and then you can go and look and study it, what they are, and see if they're of use. Let's go to 2. Okay, this is going to give us our outside the top 100 coins, the 100 to 200 coins. Okay, now if we do this again, you're going to see some coins have been doing quite well, but have also had some good healthy pullbacks. Now here's another example, which is perfect. Okay, this is PopCat. It's a meme coin. I'm not telling you to buy meme coins, but you get the picture, right? PopCat, as a meme coin, has done the inevitable, what coins do. It breaks the cup, comes back, and it gives itself a nice little number 3. Okay, gives it a good entry. How do I know this is a good entry? Well, because during this period of time when the hype and excitement started to return to the market, because Bitcoin was going up and Ethereum, whatever, was going up, which inevitably happens again, PopCat started to rally strongly. And during that time, PopCat went up a whopping 400 and something percent, 470%. Okay, then since then it's pulled back a whopping 48% and now sits down 41%. Okay, gives a nice entry on a coin that you know rallies as soon as Bitcoin and the wider market rallies. Okay, you know that. Gives you a healthy entry. This is a perfect number 3. Now, I know you don't want to talk about meme coins because, you know, they're not, like, good for crypto and whatever else. Fine. So let's go down the list. I'm not sure what Zebek Network is, but let's just have a look at Maple Finance, because I actually talked about this maybe last year, and since then some interesting things have been going on. Apparently, because it's been pumping like crazy, but had some good pullbacks in the last few days. In fact, it's down 7.7% in just the last week, and over the last couple of weeks, it's probably down even more than that. Now, as you can see, going to the website, you'll find out that this is a real-world asset crypto. So we can do our due diligence on a coin that's been performing well, because it's got good market makers, good like tokenomics behind the scene for good growth of crypto. Okay, we can then go to their website and be like, oh, assets under management, $1.96 billion. Trusted by Coinbase and other big names, Galaxy Digital, Circle, liquid yield dollar, 6.6%, which is pretty good because that's bigger, about 2% bigger than what you get on Ondo Finance. And because this is a DeFi product, decentralized finance product, real world assets kind of fall under that bracket, we can come across to DeFi Llama and we can look at something interesting. Maple Finance, which currently has a market cap of $457 million, which compared to Ondo is like a quarter of the size, I would believe. You can see has the TVL that is going crazy. Crazy. Didn't even realize this. If you got Maple Finance, let me know down below. Good pick. Well done. You can see TVL up at like $2 billion. $2 billion. That's more than Ondo, I believe. Okay, which is huge because it's got a quarter of the market cap of Ondo, but twice the TVL, total value locked. Now you can see borrowed money, people borrowing from the platform. You can see other things like treasury. You can see token volume, all sorts of other things. Okay, this is showing very good metrics as far as Maple Finance is concerned. So then what we want to do, we want to jump across and look at a chart. Now, for those of you who are unaware, Maple became Syrup later on in the year, so it doesn't necessarily give you the best chart from terms of valuing where it is in terms of pullbacks and things like that. Okay, but as far as Maple's concerned, it's had its nice healthy pullback. It's created its little cup. Okay, it's now broken back into the cup. Looks pretty strong. Okay, interesting project, and we found that really quite easily. Okay, guys, we're literally just doing this live. It's not live, it's obviously pre-recorded, but you get the picture. Okay, this is how it works. Very straightforward. Go and have a look at it, exactly how it works. Let's go find some more. Okay, I don't hold any Maple Finance, by the way. No, they haven't paid me to make a video. Relax. Okay, let's just go through it. Dog with coin, Bitcoin. Okay, this is another meme coin. Lots of meme coins on the run. You can come down the list. Aether, a project that I have talked about a lot. Okay, came all the way down, had a very big sell-off during the recent dips and whatever, okay, is now down in the last 7 days, 13%, which is quite a lot, but it's still up 41% on the 90 days. So we come across and have a look at Aether, for example. And we can see on the OKX chart that Aether has basically come down like this since those sort of November time highs, right? It's then come across here and it's created a cup pattern. Nice, quite healthy little cup pattern. Okay, hopefully you can see this. It doesn't have to be the perfect little round cup, okay? Just has to sort of show you that it's gone from a downtrend into an uptrend. That's what we were ultimately looking for. It's going to show you that it's gone from downtrend into uptrend and then had a little breather, giving us the perfect entry. And then what happens next is we move into the Dogecoin stage 4. Okay, that's what we're looking for. Doesn't always play out exactly as cleanly as that, but Aether looks pretty good from this perspective and actually has a reasonable entry point. Now, obviously, in the past, I've then showed you all the details and data behind what Aether does. So if you are one of those people who really likes to be in the weeds, in the utility of things, then you can use this. Now, I'm not saying that other altcoins you're holding won't necessarily be able to do well during this phase of the market. It's really important to note this, okay? Don't just go and rush off selling all your small cap altcoins, because the small cap altcoins won't be showing much strength during these kind of current months right now, okay? And there's a good reason for that, and it's because a lot of these altcoins that we're looking at, one, have got a lot more funding, which is how they're able to kind of grow to these levels. They're working with the best market makers. They're also on like Binance and other big exchanges, so there's lots of liquidity in the space to play with, lots of other stuff going on behind the scenes. So a lot of the larger cap coins, this is how you're finding them right now, okay? And I don't necessarily think you should be going and selling altcoins or whatever, but you're just identifying coins that are doing what Bitcoin did, where it put in this cup and then broke. Bitcoin didn't even come back and test its cup, okay? Crazy, okay? And this is why we're identifying them and using this method. Because Sui, back last summer, had pulled back from those highs that it saw in like March, 78% till August the 5th. And then, all of a sudden, after that low, it does the classic, like, kind of recovery. Okay, and then it sort of messes around here, kind of retests here, and this is pretty much where we talked about it on the channel back in September of last year. So if you wanted to get into Sui back in September of last year because of that video, let me know down below, because you're probably still significantly up, okay? Even after that kind of pump and then a little bit of a dump, we were still way above those highs. And we basically just used the same method, okay? Sui was one of the first movers, and ultimately from that bottom to the top did 12x, okay? Crazy, 12x from that bottom. Okay, as one of the first movers. We identified this as one of the first movers with a very similar method, okay? Now, Sui wasn't the best performing altcoin during this period of time. Some of the smaller caps did like 20, 30, 40 X's, okay? But they didn't really tend to do it until slightly later on, okay? So slightly later on, you're looking at large caps having a strong move somewhere around here, okay? The first mover large caps are going to have strong moves somewhere around here. And then after that, once we get to the greed-fueled element, you're going to see smaller caps, okay? So don't go selling all your small caps. Don't go selling coins to jump around. Just showing you ways that if you haven't entered into the market and you're still sidelined and worried how to get in and whatever, this is maybe just one way you could use. It's obviously not financial advice. Go away and do your own research. I'm just showing you how I do it, okay? This is how I do it. If you want to do it this way, be my guest. I'm just trying to show you how to stop buying up here and blaming other people down here, so that you can buy down here and still be sat in the green now rather than in the red because you bought here. Okay, get the picture? And if you come down further down the lists, you can find lots of others that have also been rallying strongly. Now, you'll actually notice the top 100 coins in general have been outperforming the wider market. When you look across the top 100, okay, the majority of the top 100 here are green, with the exception of a few, okay? If you look to outside the top 100, like to the top 200 to 300, you'll see that there's a lot more variety and variability in the profitability of coins. A lot of big words there. You'll see that Mudeng, a hippo, has been doing really well, but other projects like Cadena, blockchain, and others out there, Veracity, have been really poor, okay? Much more difficult to find the winners lower down the list, but they're already showing their strength, right? So GOAT, just as example, you can click here, and you don't have to use CoinMarketCap at all. In fact, you could just use Crypto Bubbles and then just quickly like look across these charts and be like, wow, GOAT's looking interesting, because all of a sudden GOAT was like dead coin, right? It fell down 97%, but since it was down 97%, it's recovered up 600%, and since then it's now pulled back 48%. And what does it look like in terms of our chart pattern? This might be a winner, and maybe I need to rush to go and buy this coin right this second. Here. Okay, because you can see it's had a nice pullback, rounded base, broken the rounded base, come back down. Where does the top of the cup go? Well, somewhere around where you've seen these kind of resistance points here. Previous resistance flips into future support. Very healthy. Okay, goat looks pretty good, right? And if we look at this on a shorter term chart, maybe you could be like, oh, this is a really nice descending wedge pattern, which actually looks prime for a breakout. Literally about now, probably not a bad one. Go to coin market cap, go and look at goat and be like, what's goat? I wonder. By the way, I don't hold this. 127 mil market cap. And then you can go and say, well, what is it? Go to website. It's on Solana. Solana is starting to show some strength. And when Solana shows strength, a lot of the AI agents are also waking up. This is something to do with AI agents, I believe. Again, I don't know enough about it to tell you right now what it is. Maybe I'll look into it in the future. Go and look at it, see whether for yourself this looks interesting. Partnered up with literally everybody. Clearly there's a lot of like big money, smart money behind this, who've been pumping money into the markets once more, and we see that happening on the charts as we speak. From current price levels back towards all-time highs, what do we see? 10x. Can it go beyond that? Probably. It's 120 million market cap right now. Pretty good entry, to be honest. And guys, that was just the method, okay? There's a lot of coins you can come across, a lot of coins that might do better than the ones that I found. You might hold some coins that are going to do well because of something you know that I don't. That's absolutely fine. But we're just going to find coins here that are pretty much guaranteed to do upside as the market becomes more bullish once more. Now, if you want to go and buy any of these coins, after you've gone and done your research, of course, because you're not going to buy them without doing research, because that would be irresponsible of you and would be your own fault if something went wrong, then I recommend that you check out Bitunix and WEEX, both linked down below in the description. Both of these exchanges do not require KYC and can be accessed no matter where you are in the world. They also have a huge range of different altcoins available, so if you can't find them on Coinbase or Binance, no surprise, you can go and find them on WEEX and Bitunix with some of the lowest fees. And I've been working with these exchanges pretty much longer than anyone else out there, so if you want to go and get the very best bonuses and most discounted exchange fees, then use my links down below. If you've already signed up for these exchanges through others, you can simply create another account using an email address to qualify for those brand new bonuses as well. Hope you enjoyed that video and found it useful. Let me know if you want more tutorial based content down below, and obviously we're going to up our game as this bull market starts to kick on. It's going to come. Hit the like button if you haven't already, subscribe, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow in another video. Bye bye.